So now we are here at the second part of my new series, my new Kanye marathon, Yarathon, nope, never mind, Kanye Therathon. I don't know why I added the fun there. I was going to say Kanye Therathon, but for some reason I added the Therathon. I'm going through every single Kanye album up until the 10th anniversary of I am gonna relax more. The 10th anniversary of his classic My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. We're reviewing every single album he's ever released, every single studio album, not Kids See Ghosts or Watch the Throne, just the 9 studio albums, because he has my favorite discography in hip hop. And we have already reviewed The College Dropout yesterday, so today we're reviewing Late Registration, the sequel to The College Dropout, which, mostly in terms of praise and success, was pretty equal to the first one. This was a much bigger album, mostly because of the hit single Gold Digger. But overall, as in terms of albums, College Dropout put him on the map as popular hip-hop artist, don't get me wrong, and it gave him great critical success, won him Album of the Year. But Late Registration was the thing that stapled him as being not only one of the best in the game, but one of the biggest in the game. This album really made him more popular. Not the album as a whole, but mostly just the single Gold Digger, because that single was huge. But this album was really important to the Kanye discography, and a lot of people have stated that this album just kind of reinforced what the College Dropout did. However, in my opinion, Late Registration is a superior album in most... It's not way better, but in terms of albums, this is a superior album in mostly every way. So I'm going to go through Late Registration track by track. Starting with track number 1, which is Wake Up Mr. West. It's not the most inherently useful track for the album, but it's nice, it's simple, it's straight to the point. And it brings us into Heard 'Em Say, which is one of my favorite Kanye opening tracks. This is such a good track, in my opinion, mostly not only just because of Adam Levine's beautiful vocals and the piano, but as a whole, just the whole themes on the track. It's a really slow, calm track, which is something I really like about this album. This album is always very good at keeping things low. It never really reaches, or if it makes sense, nothing on this album feels big or feels... Actually, it feels giant because it's orchestral, but nothing on this album ever feels like larger than life. How do I describe it? This album doesn't feel big. It feels a lot more down-tempo, a lot more slow, a lot more, calm. And yes, it actually is a very orchestral album because there is a late orchestra album, which I should listen to one day. But I really like this track. It's a really slow, nice track. It's a really calming track. And it's honestly one of my favorite Kanye beats ever. I love this piano. It's so great. It's a top 5 for this album. Touch the Sky is really great in my opinion, but it's not one of the best Kanye tracks. I see a lot of people call it one of the best, and I've never felt that way. I like Lupe's performance, but to me, overall, thematically, this song just doesn't really offer that much. I like the trumpets. I like the synths in that way. I like the hook from it, but it doesn't really do anything that Kanye hadn't already done for me. It's just kind of an uplifting powerhouse track that is done better on the other... actually, I don't know if it's done better on this album, but it's just a very, very hit-centered track. I like it. It's fun. It's just a little overrated, in my opinion. Only a little. Gold Digger is not, though. Gold Digger is a giant single, and I love it. I know this track has been overplayed to death, but I was born the year this album came out, so I've not had it overplayed to me. This track is so much fun, in my opinion. It's one of the most carefree Kanye tracks. I love the way the production's done in this. In fact, it's great production. The boom-kicking drum, along with just Jamie Foxx's vocals cut up, fit very nicely. It's a track where I really love the way he's able to bring out the theme he's talking about here. I love the whole just gold digger notion he talks about. And how else do I describe it other than just I really love what this track offers to the whole Late Registration project. And overall, arguably, one of the best Kanye tracks ever. And I think it's just a funny track, and I love the way he ends every verse, and I love his delivery on it. It's a classic, honestly. Skit 1 is interesting to me. I like the skits on this album. It is a lot less heavy-handed in the themes than College Dropout is. College Dropout has 4 skits in a row dedicated, or 3 skits in a row dedicated to just getting the College Dropout idea out. But this album just has these skits, these 30 to a minute long skits come in, and they're just fun, they're quick, they're easy, they're not too much, and I like them overall, and they're actually kind of funny in their own way. Drive Slow comes in as a very underrated track in my opinion. I love this song so much. I love just how slow, down-tempoed it is. I love the jazz on this album. That's something I really loved he did with this. He really brought out a lot of soul. I feel like he really did what he could on the College Dropout but he did it like more. He went even more into it, but there's just this very down-tempo, slow sounds. I love the GLC performances on this. It's great. It's entertaining. It's slow. It's nice. It's often a very overlooked track, but I quite like it. My Way Home is a really solid track, in my opinion, too. It's not amazing, but I like hearing Common on the album. It is a little short for me, and I can't see a lot of people arguing that the track is relatively pointless. But overall, I like where it sits on the album, and I think it's just a nice minute 45-second slow track that overall just works nicely for me. Crack Music is great in my opinion. I love this track. I think what he goes for on this, he's really good at not making this track sound angry and intense, but not too angry and intense where it can. This track still feels in place on late registration without it feeling too like too much of what it's going for. This dark, like booming crack music sound, it could have gone way too far. But Kanye is a brilliant producer, and he knows how to hold it back. Game does great. It's a great track, and it leads nicely into Roses because it's completely different thematically. Roses is a really, really beautiful track, but it's a really sad track for Kanye. He essentially talks about the time going through when his grandmother was passing away. It's a really sad song. It's really heartbreaking, and he sounds so... I bet you he teared up making this song. There are points on this album where you can hear him kind of like break down, tear up in the studio, and I love it. This is one of the best tracks on the album. It's a really beautiful, just slow track. I honestly love it. It could be top 10 Kanye, if I'm being perfectly honest. Bring Me Down is awesome. It's not amazing, but I think the way he very, very well... it's a really uplifting track to me. I think what he goes for on this is just a nice song. And there's a couple lyrics on this that I kind of like the... if your girl doesn't like me, how long she been gay? I think that's a creative lyric, honestly. Overall, Bring Me Down is just a solid track. It's just a solid freaking track. Addiction is a really underrated track, in my opinion. A lot of people really don't like Addiction, and I quite like it. I really like the groove to the song. I really like just the guitars moving, and I love the way it's kind of just slow. Kind of feels like it's kind of creeping up on you. And the theme he talks about is fair. I mean, I guess alcohol and drugs do feel good, and so does sex, but I like it overall. I think it's just a nice kind of groovy slow track, and it fits once again with the sound this album goes for. We have another skit. I might just kind of skip over the skits because I don't really know what happens in all of them, to be honest. I don't know what happens in them individually. I know what happens in a whole. Diamonds from Sierra Leone remix specifically is a really, really good track in my opinion. This track is really just... This is the grandest, biggest song on this album. When I said this album doesn't go big, I did not mean it in the sense that like Diamonds from Sierra Leone alone doesn't count because it's a pretty big track. But I think what I mean is that there's nothing on this album. It successfully feels big, but still feels down-tempo. I don't know how to describe it. If you know what I'm talking about, you do. Diamonds from Sierra Leone is a really classic Kanye track. Jay-Z's verse kills it, man. He's so good on this. He really just brought out the best in both artists, and on top of that, his verse is just great over this really, really overall just great single big track. I think this did win like Song of the Year or something, or got nominated for Best Rap Song at least, and I don't think it's the track on this album that deserved it, but okay. We Major featuring Nas and Really Doe is a great track. It's a little long. I don't know if it needs to be 7 minutes, but I still like for what it's worth. I think Nas delivers like a great guest verse. From Nas's guest verses, We Major has one of my favorites. He just does so well. Really Doe is also great. It's a really big track, and it fits more into the jazz. Like, there's just this big celebratory, like, trumpet big sound to it. It's a great track overall. Hey Mama comes in as easily the best track on this album. Not even like I think Hey Mama is my favorite. No, Hey Mama is my favorite track on this album. It's actually like my favorite early Kanye song. I mean that. Like, I like this more than anything on Graduation or College Dropout or this album. This, besides Runaway, is Kanye's best song. Like, and I know that sounds crazy because, I mean, you might just listen to Hey Mama and be like, oh, that's sweet. This song is so touching to me. It's such a touching song. First of all, production-wise, beautiful, amazing production. I love the choir in the background over just the really nice... I could play it right now. I just really want to because I love it so much. Kanye just gets so personal, though, on this track. He just dedicates the whole thing to his mom, admits that he made mistakes. It's like Dear Mama by Tupac. I don't even want to say which one I like more because I love Dear Mama. That's what, like, top 10 favorite rap songs ever, but Hey Mama is also amazing. This is such an emotional, touching song, in my opinion. And I think he did everything he could to make the most beautiful tribute he could to his mom. And overall, I just can't. I love this song every single time I hear it. It always brings my mood up a little bit. And the one moment on this track where he talks about lying on the kitchen floor with his mom brings me to tears. I'm not even joking. Those bars just tear me up. Like, they're so good. I'm serious right now. Hey Mama is one of my favorite songs. This is great. This is amazing. It is one of my favorite Kanye tracks, without question. Top 3 ever. Celebration is also amazing. It's not incredible, but I really like what he does. It's a fun track to me. It's probably one of the most fun-centered tracks on Late Registration. It's not centered on emotion or heartbreak or anything, but it really just feels like a nice, fun track. Gone is a great collab. I like the vocals, actually. I think it says We Strong. I don't know. The vocals over it are nice. Cameron and Consequence both do great. Also, there was a skit there. I didn't mention that. The skit is actually one of the most important skits on this album, because at the end they're like, we have an imposter among our group of poor people. Kanye, we found new shoes in there. How do you explain yourself? And then he's like, I just wanted to get in touch with my roots. And it's a nice track, and it's a nice way to kind of lead us into where this album is going to go. Gone comes in. It's great. I love it. It's not incredible, but I quite enjoy what it's going for. And it feels like one of the more big songs on the album. Then we have a Diamonds from Sierra Leone original version, which I honestly just kind of find lame at this point. I like it, but why don't I just listen to the remix with a great Jay-Z verse? Any day I'd like a great Jay-Z verse. Late is the final track, and it's a great way to send off this album. It feels like one of the most reflectory tracks. It really does bring together everything that the album kind of talks about into a really nice light. I love the really high-pitched vocals over it. And overall, I think it's a great way to end the album off on a quick, kind of not really too long of a track. Overall, fits this out to be a near perfect track list, if I'm being honest. I don't really dislike a single track on the entire project. And I don't really know how to say it. On the Late Registration is amazing, in my opinion. This is one of the best albums of the 2000s. Probably the best non-Eminem album, because my two favorites would both be Eminem. But this is such a beautiful project. First of all, production. Let's start with the production. Is amazing. I mean, amazing on every single track. There is not a single track where I don't freaking love the production. It is just the way he's able to, like, this orchestral grandness to it, but at the same time keeping the down-tempo emotion there. It's not like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, where it's like large album. When I say big, I don't mean like in length. Biggest album ever is All Eyes on Me, or Speaker Box to Love Below. But when I say like big, I mean like in terms of sound. Like I Am a God is one of the biggest Kanye songs, because it feels like one of the grandest Kanye songs. Finding a Stable School Spirit is one of the smallest, most contented Kanye songs. It's not really big. Condensed, that's the word I'm looking for. But this album, not only did it just show a lot, it also was able to bring out more emotion from Kanye. He got so emotional on this album. On tracks like Roses and Hey Mama, he brought out a lot just of great emotions, and on top of that, really just a lot of really great singles and tracks to listen to. I don't really have an issue with that project, and I'm genuinely really thinking about this rating. I don't know if I'm really ready to end the review off here, but because I've been going only 14 minutes, but I was able to get through this track list a lot quicker than I got through the College Dropout track list, which is weird because the College Dropout track list is shorter. But overall, I don't really have... I would be kind of unfair of me to go and hunt for an issue in Late Registration. There's not really anything that bothers me on the album as a whole. Every track just is really fitting to me. It's really beautiful. It's really emotional. It's really touching. I'm genuinely as you're watching me, I'm deciding the rating because I don't know. I really love it, and I don't know if I want to go for the big guy. This is just such a great album, and of its time period, I think a lot of people kind of look over it. I think a lot of people really just go, "Oh, it's not as big as College Dropout. That was the big debut. Oh, it's not as popular as Graduation." But to me, it's better. It's more emotional. It's more consistent. It's less dated. This album has aged fucking gold. It sounds so amazing today. Overall, I don't really have a single problem with the album overall. And I think, moving to the side bit, I think I'm going to drop Kanye West's Late Registration at an A. I'm giving it an A. I was close to A+. It's very close to that. But I'm deciding on an A because I don't think it's just quite reaching to A+ for me. And I don't think it's quite, I don't think it's quite enough better, if that makes sense. Like, enough better than College Dropout to be A+. That being said, though, Late Registration is amazing. Behind the Eminem Show and the Marshall Mathers LP, this is the best album of the 2000s. Honestly amazing. Favorite tracks, Hey Mama, Roses, and Gold Digger. Also, heard him say. Yeah. What do you guys think on Late Registration? Do you think I was fair to give this album the praise of being one of Kanye's best? Overall, amazing album. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say for the video. So yeah, Graduation next. And I don't know if I'll do a ranking at the end. I probably won't. I'll do a ranking when Donda drops, which might drop Friday. I highly doubt it will. Actually, I'm releasing this like you'll see that if Donda drops, it'll be tonight. I'm recording this a couple days before, but if Donda drops, it'll be tonight. That's cool. Okay, see you guys next time. And this review is way shorter than the College Dropout, but bye.